Captain's Log Supplemental. We have docked at Starbase 1, where we are transferring Lieutenant Conley into their care. It's really a shame, as I had high hopes for the lieutenant due to his exemplary service record. I know away missions are always risky, but this is a new one for me. Near as we could determine, Conley passed through some sort of improbability field on his last away mission. We didn't suspect anything at first, but within minutes of him using a console upon his return, the console exploded, showering sparks all over the cargo bay. This does happen on a starship occasionally, but usually it's in the middle of a battle, not randomly. He was very badly burned, but Dr. Yang was able to get him fixed up pretty quickly. However, we knew something was up when he sat down at the con on the bridge, and it immediately catastrophically failed, causing Conley serious injury. Eventually, consoles just started exploding when he walked by them. Poor bastard may never serve on a starship again.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Captain's Log Supplemental. My name is Rob, and as sort of always, I am joined this week just by Chris. We are
Hello there.
Stanfords, both of them.
Yep, that's true. Yep, I know he said they had some issue, but I'm pretty sure just because this episode revolved around Q, and he hates Q so much, he decided not to be here.
Yeah, so that's going to be the recurring joke for the evening.
That's my working theory. Yep.
Honestly, he really, even more than what the Borg became, he hates Q.
Yes,
anything to do with him, which is awful because John Delancey is a really great actor, and yes. I don't know, I enjoy him. I think that he's really great.
I do too. I always like the Q episodes. I thought they were very fun and interesting, and well, we'll get into this episode once we get through the summary.
Yeah. But yeah, how you doing this week, Chris?
Oh, pretty good. A little excited. I saw some Star Trek shows coming out, or Star Trek games coming out, rather.
Yeah, it's really funny. I feel like we go for years, right, without hearing about a new Star Trek game, and in the last. I think it all happened within the last week, right? They dropped 3 new titles on us.
I know. Crazy.
2 of them I'm more interested in than the third. So we'll start with the bad news, right? Star Trek Warp. This is a card battler, like a PvP card game that I'm assuming is going to function like a TCG because they talk about collecting all your favorite heroes. Gross. And you just have your characters fight the other characters. Like, I don't even know why Warp is in the title because there are 0 ships involved.
That's what I liked about like the original like TCG game that came out is like the whole thing of the card game was like built around like traveling from star to star and solving dilemmas and things like that. So it was very much in the theme of Star Trek.
That's what I really appreciated. I don't know. Do you remember? I forget. Did you play this with Sean and me? Do you remember the Star Wars TCG? Like
yes,
Star Wars, the
I have that as well. I don't know if I ever played with you guys. But I definitely have some of the cards.
Like I appreciated that one because there were locales in the game, and like even in the new one in Unlimited, there's land battles and space battles, and like you're fighting over territory because it's a space show / movie. And then there's this thing where, I guess the Neelix is just going to go and punch T'Pol in the face. Like, it looks terrible.
Yeah.
And I am not excited at all for it. Things are going to be bad when you see an ad on Reddit that has comments on it. That doesn't happen very often. And it either means that people are very excited about it, and it's the first place they've seen it.
Trash.
Right. Because like if it's just a normal ad for like CNN or some shit, like nobody talks about it, So I don't know. It looks terrible.
Yeah.
After that, Star Trek Shadow Frontier was announced. So this is, as far as I can tell, is a survival horror game where you play as Ro Loren. How do you feel about this one?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It could be interesting. I'm not a big like. So like the only time I really play like horror games is like with you guys because that's
Hmm.
fun. Um,
Sure, like Sons of the Forest and the Forest.
right. Yeah. Like that's a lot of fun. I don't often play like horror-ish games like on my own. I don't have. They're not fun for me.
Sure.
But but yeah.
Yeah, the only time I really played them in the past, well, one was with you originally. You remember Fear?
Oh yeah, I remember Fear. Yeah.
Oh, that was a hell of a game.
Yeah,
Um,
that had some good jump scares and fucking shit like that, man.
it did. It was fun, like doing like the switch seat with you, and then I wound up doing the same thing with Stanford in college.
Hmm.
And Stanford is a jumpy motherfucker. It's very funny playing scary games with him.
Hmm.
Um, and then like other than that, I I dabble now and again. Like if there's a really popular one, I'll probably
Hmm.
jump in and take a look at it. I used to hate horror growing up, but I have slowly converted over the years, and like at
You
this
found an
point in my life,
appreciation.
I am a full on horror fan. Like I really enjoy it. Shout out to the Scared to Death podcast run by Dan Cummins and his wife Lindsay. It's fantastic. I freaking love that podcast so much.
They just talk about
Um,
like horror stuff, or
yeah, so Dan will usually go and research some topical horror pieces, and then his wife reads like listener submitted horror,
hmm.
and it's pretty great. Well, like sorry, I shouldn't say horror. These are like ghost stories, like a la like campfire stories kind of deal. They're not
Gotcha,
like terrifying or chilling in that way. They're just like creepy paranormal experiences. Like
gotcha.
some of them are legitimately scary, sure, but it's not horror, you know?
Sure.
Um, so I don't know. Like I am excited for this. I like Roloran as a character.
Is it
I
Rolaren or Rolaren?
Rolaran. Sorry, I
Okay,
keep mispronouncing it.
I didn't know if I was
Um,
saying it wrong or not.
no. Um, like I'm excited for this for the same reason that like I really loved Alien Isolation. That was a
Hmm.
fantastic game, and I am really pumped for the Jurassic Park survival game to come out. That looked
That could be
great
fun.
in the
Yeah.
yeah, in the release trailer. It looked real fun. Um,
What's that
so I don't
other
know.
like horror game that you linked that looked interesting
Another horror game that I liked.
with the slasher like where you're it's like co-op.
Oh yeah. Oh, what was that called? We were just talking about that earlier. I was watching the PC game show. Gone Feral.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like a roguelike co-op horror game where you are the slashers in a slasher movie. It looks pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah, look cool.
Um, and then the last game, probably the one that the three of us are going to sink the most time into, is Star Trek Outposts Unknown. So this is just straight up a Star Trek colony sim that Stanford has willed into existence. Um, I'm really excited for this one. It looks really fun.
Yeah, it could be interesting. I downloaded the demo and I like played about 2 seconds of it earlier. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and then I then I got off because I had to make dinner.
Perfect. No
But
notes.
it definitely the concept's interesting for sure. Like there's definitely
Yeah.
like there's exploration elements to it, which I think is good, and you got to like study stuff. So it seems pretty cool.
Yeah, they made it sound like you were going to be founding like science outposts that people are going to be
Right,
living on.
right, exactly.
I did think it was funny in the screenshot that you sent where April's like, "Congratulations on your new title, Captain.
Hmm.
You know, boldly go or whatever." And then the game is about you being on a planet. So I was like, "Oh, does your ship immediately crash and then you all have to survive?"
No, you're getting sent to this like system where there's like these new aliens that the Federation's trying to be friendly with, and they're like looking into some stuff there. So it's interesting.
Oh, cool. Yeah, and like I know we talked about it in Discord a little bit. But the Stanfords and I did get to play that board game, Sovereign Fall of Wormwood.
Oh, how was that?
Um, it was awesome. Like it's just Alpha Centauri, like Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri, the board game. It's fantastic. There
Nice.
are like legitimately flavor text quotes on some of the cards taken straight from Alpha Centauri with like the leaders quoted as having said them and everything. Um, like I talked with Stanford about how the devs all said that like they were heavily influenced by Alpha Centauri. And I remember going on Reddit and like the first thing that came up when I searched for this game originally was a post on the Alpha Centauri subreddit with somebody going like, "Hey, did you guys see this game coming out?" um,
Yeah.
it it's very fun. I really like. It's like it's going to be like a living card game, a la like White Wolf, or I forget what board game company does that, but basically like if you buy an expansion, you get all the cards in it, and
Mm,
it's not like a collectible card game, you know, like you
sure.
just buy the card that you want kind of deal. And
Makes sense.
yeah, it released with 6 factions. 4 more came in like the expansion that was announced like after the Kickstarter had been successfully funded. So I have all 10 that are available now. It's supposed to go to retail in July, and it's very fun. Highly recommend it, especially for Alpha Centauri fans.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So we'll have to try it out with you on Tabletop Simulator at some point.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, the company announced that they released all the assets there to play with, which was very
That's
nice of
nice.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, very cool. A lot of fun gaming news this week.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm all for it.
Also, some like bummer gaming news. I've been hearing is complaining from like the Sony releases. Kind of funny.
What kind of
Oh,
news?
just like Sony had like a thing the other day too, where they were talking about a bunch of new
Oh yeah.
releases coming up, and all I heard was complaining about their stuff. So, but you know, that
Dude,
is the gaming community's favorite thing to do is bitch and moan about everything. So,
it's really funny because I usually watch all of these every year with my sister and our friend Tim. It's just kind of a long-standing tradition. I used to take off from work. I don't do that anymore because most of them have been pushed into either the afternoon or the weekend, so I don't have to worry about it. Um, but we were sitting there watching the Sony one, and the entire time, the full hour that the Sony demonstration is going, everybody in Twitch chat is just saying, "We want Destiny 3. We want Destiny 3. We want Destiny 3." This is right after Bungie just shut down Destiny
as I
2.
said, they just shut it down too. Yeah.
Yeah. Their latest title, Marathon, actually looks like a really fun game, but it's another extraction shooter,
Hmm.
which is tough to kind of sell with how popular Arc Raiders was. Like Arc Raiders already kind of fills that same sci-fi extraction shooter vibe that they were going for, although they're more cyberpunk to be fair,
Mm.
instead of like NASA punk or whatever. Um, but oh man, it's it's done pretty well, Marathon, but the head of their gaming studio came out and said like, yeah, despite how many sales we have, because of how much money we sunk in, it's still being considered a failure. And
Bummer.
I feel like this is the problem with the AAA market right now is they're just spending an absurd amount of money to make these games, and they're just not going to get the return on it ever, you know?
Or they include features which are like fucking microtransactions or stuff that makes the game less fun because they're milking people for every nickel and dime out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bummer for sure.
Well, on that fun
Um,
note, to the episode.
yeah, also kind of a no, it's not really a bummer. Well, it is for Spock, but we'll get into that. Um, this was we're now up to uh oh, you know what? I didn't do the social media stuff.
Do the
Yeah,
thing.
if you like what you hear on this week's episode, please remember like, subscribe, tell your friends about us. Spreading the podcast by word of mouth is a big help to us and helps get the word of the pod out there. Um, so yeah, we're on season 3, episode 2 of Wedding Bell Blues is the name of the episode, and we open up this episode with some cute little robot dudes helping fix the hull of the Enterprise.
Yeah, we saw those in Discovery, but Yeah, we haven't really seen him a whole
Yeah.
lot. I think maybe we saw him in like the first season of Strange New Worlds, but yeah, these cute little robots eventually disappear for some reason.
Yeah, it's very sad. Well, like, it's funny because you also see the worker bees in Discovery a few
Yeah.
times.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. I hope that as they move forward with Trek and all the new tech that they've got available for CGI and stuff, I hope they continue making stuff like that. It's pretty fun,
Yeah.
and it helps make Star Trek feel like it's in the future in a way that some of the old Trek really couldn't.
Right, due to budgetary reasons.
Yeah, yeah,
Or lack of technology, for being honest. But yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so Spock narrates at us a little bit with a science officer log, letting us know that they've been in dry dock now for a few months, I think 3 months, getting the hull of the Enterprise repaired after their little encounter with the Gorn. Um, Pike is planning to host a ceremonial gala for Federation Day, and we also find out that Spock is now officially more worried about impressing Chapel than his actual fiance.
But wait, they're not still engaged, are they? At
Yeah,
this point?
man.
Oh, they are? Okay, I couldn't
Yeah,
remember if they
that's
had
why
like
he went through the whole like ceremony where he was like human for a day.
right, but I thought after that they called it off. Was that not the case?
Ooh,
But,
I don't know. I I don't think so. I think they said that it was good enough. Because like Amanda berated them for expecting more.
right. But then T'Pring was talking about how like she because Spock didn't tell her what was going on and she got mad at him about it. And maybe they just like took a break or something because he was like, hooking up with Chapel and everything
I
right
don't know,
after
man.
that.
I think this is just supposed to be some weird, wonky love triangle that's really kind of two-sided. I don't know. You know what? Editor Stanford, look that up for us and interject it in a comment.
Not really sure how I feel being summoned here, but here's Stanford in the editing booth. I do again apologize for not being there that night. As for T'Pring and Spock, they are still technically engaged. T'Pring and Spock agree to take some time apart, but they are still like legally engaged. It's not exactly clear how the Vulcan legal system works in terms of this engagement, but of course, being Vulcans, they did not go through whatever incredibly nonsensical ritual they have to probably do in order to break up the engagement. So they are still engaged, which is why when we get to Amok Time, they do end up actually having to, where Spock has to fight Kirk for, to the death as a champion so that T'Pring can marry another dude. It's a whole thing. But yes, they are still technically engaged up until this point.
So yeah, Lon's given him some dancing classes so that he can dance with Chapel when she comes back for Federation Day, and he's actually pretty impressed with Lon's prowess at dancing. Side note, I know we talked about this the other day,
Right.
but Christina Chong
Yes.
was like a trained dancer.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Before she got
Yeah.
injured.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool that they could fit that into the show for her.
Mm-hmm.
I have a note in here. Haha, dancing is scarier than the Gorn.
Oh, that was a Lon joke, yeah, because she was talking about how being a ballerina was
more intimidating than
right.
the Gorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also had she's where Lon was talking about the absence of the heart, and everybody knows what that does, and Spock makes a joke. The absence of a heart would be quite fatal.
Yeah.
Sure.
Vulcan humor.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they get an alert that Chapel's actually ready to beam back on board, so he hustles on down to the transporter room. While transporting Chapel and her +1 back aboard, Scotty sees a ghost, like a sensor ghost, outside the hull of the Enterprise, which we find out what that is a little later on.
Sure.
But they beam Chapel back aboard with a very Irish Dr. Corby.
DA is. And trivia note here. So,
Damn it, Rob, you had one job. When there's some trivia you can't miss, it's a fun fact with Chris.
Dr. Corby was first introduced into in the TOS episode, "What Are Little Girls Made Of?" Which, why is this one episode referenced in so many different episodes of the show?
Time and time again.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
But in that, he is the fiance of Chapel.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, if there's one thing we've learned about being engaged to people on the show, it doesn't matter when you're in a different zip code or solar system.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Spock is read up on all of Corby's work because there's
234, something like that. What was it?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Literally his full body of work. Spock has read all of it, presumably to tell him he's wrong, be judgy.
I don't know. He might have just tried to show interest in in her fellowship, and so he could talk to her about it.
Yeah, well, yeah. At this point, he doesn't realize what's coming, so that's probably correct.
Also, he's very late in this scene to realize what is happening. Whereas, La'an, as soon as Chapel beams over with Corby, La'an immediately picks up what's going on. Spock does not at all.
No. They beam him aboard. Corby recognizes the book that Spock is holding, and Spock reveals that it's a present for Chapel. It's a gift for her return. Right,
because he wants to, he's like, oh, this is a really cool book. I want to take a look at, can I look at this? And Spock's like, no, dude, this is for her. Ugh.
This is for my girlfriend. Meanwhile, freaking Corby's like, by the way, man, this is my girlfriend. So unfortunately for Mr. Spock, Chapel informs him, La'an, and Scotty that Dr. Corby is her date to the Centennial Federation Day Gala.
Yes, and he does not need his own quarters.
No.
Which is,
definitely not.
Yep.
Because they're banging. Ortegas is sparring in the gym with, who we found out.
I just wanted to point out here. Not cool, Chapel. I'm gonna be honest. Maybe just the.
Oh no!
If you send word ahead. He's expecting to at least be talk to you about what your relationship is or was or whatever. Can't just be showing up with a new boyfriend without saying anything. Come on.
So not only that, I know they talk about it later, but I don't remember if I have the specifics of the conversation in my notes here. So I just want to bring it up now. Chapel very specifically said that she did not want to be involved with anybody, and that's why they were breaking up. Then she leaves and immediately becomes involved with somebody else.
Which, that I have less of a problem with. At that point, they're not, quote, Spock and her are in a relationship. She's out. That happens. If that happens, that's fine. I mean, obviously not
say
ideal
that they were
for
on
Spock.
A break?
Right, yeah. Not ideal for Spock, but they kind of, had a soft breakup or whatever. But that being said, you're obviously aware that Spock still has feelings for you and wants to continue a relationship. That is pretty obvious. Yeah, I mean, say something if you're showing up to the ship he's serving on. Come on, what are we doing here?
Yeah, that's real rough.
Yeah.
Well, especially when they both have so many friends there. She could have she could have told Uhura.
Send it whisper down the lane, man. Come on, you got multiple ways you could go about making that obvious as to what's going on.
Yeah, this was real rough, man.
Poor Spock.
Yeah. Speaking of Erica, she's down in the gym sparring with her little brother Beto. Beto? Is that how his name is pronounced?
I think it's Beto. Don't remember because I was trying to listen for what his name was, and I don't remember them ever saying it. So
they said it once.
Okay.
Right. I'm pretty sure his name is Beto. Meanwhile, down in sickbay, a Ensign Gamble, who I'm assuming is a full Starfleet nurse, and that's why he's got the rank, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of Nurse Chapel, who is she here on contract or something? I know she's not
I don't know, man, but he's got the same uniform that she wears, so I don't know.
Right. Well, anyway, he seems like a cool dude. I like Ensign Gamble. While they're sitting there taking more of Una's blood to help out Captain Batel, both Una and Mbenga let him know, like, hey, if you want to stay aboard Enterprise, we're happy to have you. So that's a kick-ass job offer.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, also, I don't know if you mentioned it, but so Artegas and her brother were spying, and then Uhura bursts in with tea about Spock and them. But also,
Oh
like, her
yeah.
brother is, like, immediately horny for Uhura.
Oh yeah.
Which
Immediately.
she doesn't mind it seems like,
No, she's down.
yeah.
I don't know if you saw this on the like the Memory Alpha page or not, but apparently, my God, I can't remember the actress who plays Uhura, but she was speaking with the writers and very specifically noted that she would appreciate like a little romance for Uhura. So I think that's where this stemmed from.
Mm.
Which, you know what, I'm here for it. I like her a lot. She deserves some happiness, especially with
Sure.
everything that happened with Hemmer.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um,
Celia Rose Gooding is her name.
Celia Rose Gooding. That's it. Thank you. Yeah, Pike's getting ready for his speech in his quarters with Patel. He's having trouble picking which of the many medals that he owns he'll be wearing at the ceremony.
What a cute little scene with Patel and Pike here. Just very domestic.
Yeah, and like I like that, like, Patel is kind of shopping around for her next posting, right? And he's like, well, what if I don't want you to leave? And she's like, what are we talking about here, Chris? Like for a second, I thought that the whole like Wedding Bell Blues thing might be about the two of them. It was not.
No.
Spoiler alerts.
Was not.
Twas not.
We do get a fun joke from her about all his hair products, so that was funny.
Yeah. I like that, like, the actual cast and crew refer to it as Pike's Peak, and it's just this recurring joke both in the show and on their crew. That's very fun.
Yeah.
Chapel stops by Spock's room to offer the book back that she was given. She feels kind of bad now that she's got like a boyfriend and all to be getting a gift from him. He insists that she keeps it, that it's a gift. Chapel is also confused as to why she told Spock that she wanted to stay unattached, but then brought a new boyfriend home for the holidays anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
She's like, tee-hee, whoopsie, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, at least it wasn't malicious, I guess.
Sure.
Back in some of the crew corridors, Ortegas is very upset with how well Benno and her are hitting it off.
Right. They're on their way to, because Chapel also invited Spock to cocktails, which great choice. That nothing bad could happen there. So that's where Uhura and the Ortegas, Ortegases are on their way to there. But yeah, they're her brother and Uhura are flirting up a storm on the way.
Yeah, it's so good, man. It's really funny because Benno's like, "What? You don't trust me with your best friend?" And Uhura's like, "And you don't trust me with your little brother?" This is gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Ortegas is a very good, like, angry, protective older sister.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to more of this. So yeah, Spock does join them at a cocktail hour, and it's just as awkward and upsetting as you could imagine it to be. Spock is a very sad boy at how romantic Chapel and Corby are together.
Right, because like they go over this like super romantic story about how she was down because it was her mother's like death anniversary or whatever. So and she like fucking read her Pablo Neruda like some type of fucking tryhard and
yeah. So apparently Corby brought her sun and stars and whatever in the form of an extremely rare mineral of some sort, like some sort of gemstone. It looks very pretty. I'm also not sure.
It reminded me of. I was
say
it reminded me of like the Men in Black, like the galaxy marbles. Like
yeah, you're right.
It's basically that on a bracelet.
So like I'm trying to figure out, was this an engagement gift? Are they engaged?
No, they're not at this point.
Okay. So yeah, the very sad Spock, who's a very sad boy, goes over and gets a very sad drink from the bartender, who like when we see his reflection in some of the decorations on the bar, he looks Vulcan.
So,
However, when
so I was just gonna note, and I didn't catch this like the first time I watched this, but back when Chapel was was talking to Spock in his quarters, as Chapel leaves, they kind of hang on him for a second, and you actually can see this guy peeking through the window, like the silhouette of him peeking through the window.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I did not notice that.
I didn't notice it the first time I watched it, but this time watching through, I'm like, wait a second, he's creeping on him. Oh man! But yeah. But another trivia note here. So this bartender who is kind of the driver of this episode. This is Trelane. So they don't actually ever see him or like see like his actual form in this episode. He's always disguised as something else. So initially as a Vulcan bartender, but they do meet him later on in TOS, which accounts for the fact why nobody recognized him because he didn't look like this when they saw him.
Yep. Yeah, later when he shows up in the episode, he appears as an Andorian, I think, right?
Yes, an Andorian wedding planner. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the not Vulcan bartender gives him a very strong but very special drink, and
it did look
Spock
fancy.
has to go sleep it off. So it goes straight to his head. Seems to enjoy it though, even though it is a tad strong for him. Heads back to his room, and he just kind of falls asleep like almost as soon as his head hits his pillow. Then we get the he's awake again, rolls over. Christine Chapel's lying next to him in bed.
Right, and he wakes to kind of the classic cue snap, finger snap. This is what wakes him up.
Chapel warns him that it's bad luck to see his bride on their wedding day, and they kiss.
Kiss.
So yeah, we at this point we get like a reboot of the whole episode, right?
Right.
We kick the whole thing off.
I thought that was weird, by the way. Like, I don't understand the choice of that. Like, everybody already is clearly acting like they don't know what already happened. Like, why do we need to go through the intro of this episode again? That seemed like a weird choice to me.
I don't know. I really like it when stuff does this. Like, there's an anime called The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumaya, where there is, God, I forget, it's either a 6 or 7 episode streak where every single episode is a subtle retelling of the same previous episode. And it's so controversial online.
Oh, really?
And people don't know if they love it or they hate it because like some of the changes happen later on in the episodes, but some of them happen very early in the episodes. And there are just straight up parts where they very may well have just taken cuts from previous episodes, stitched them back together and kept going. Like, it's wild.
Interesting.
But like, it's just like a subtle like mind fuck, So like when this happened, the first time I was watching this, I very specifically remember going, did I restart this episode? Like, what happened here?
Yeah, I don't understand the choice here. Like, I get it in certain contexts, like time loops and things like that. That makes sense. I don't understand the choice in this episode. It wasn't necessary.
I like it as a storytelling technique, and it's one of the few situations especially with the writers on the show, where they actually trusted the audience for a change.
Okay, I can see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a very fun play. So yeah, we kick off the episode again with a reference to the science officer log. We see Spock practicing his dance again with La'an, but he's doing much better.
And of course, this time it's for his wedding.
Right. Yeah, for his wedding, and presumably because Chapel has had more of a human effect on him, right? Because they never split up.
Right. It's also
And
apparent at this point that and maybe this is why they chose to do it this way, because because like at this point it's apparent he does not remember what
right,
happened the previous day. Like it's not
right,
too. So maybe using this kind of reboot of the day, this kind of the way of showing that he is not aware of what's going on.
correct. Yeah, absolutely. I also I felt like this was a very subtle, and again, I appreciate the writers trusting the audience here, especially those that are like more in tune or might have been binging this like we are, where we're just watching one episode after another each week. Do you remember back in Those Old Scientists where
Mm-hmm.
Boimler is telling Chapel, like, is he always like this? Why is he smiling? Why is he acting so human?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, what do you mean? And he goes, this is not how he's known in our timeline. And she like very uh very smartly realizes like, oh, this isn't gonna stick. So maybe that was kind of like her realizing that he wasn't going to be this way forever.
Well,
So again, we're seeing more of a human influence because of his relationship with Chapel.
it's also funny that you mentioned that episode because there was also a line in that from her that is
Yeah.
very relevant to this episode.
Oh,
Because
which one?
there's like a point where like she remarks about Q, and there's like, oh, they haven't met him yet, but
Oh,
they do have a
yeah,
Trelane
yeah,
situation going on. So I thought that was
yeah.
interesting.
Well, the other fun thing about Trelane, and we'll get into this in the deep dive, he's not really named as a Q in
He's not.
TOS.
No.
So I do
This
like this
episode kind of
retcon.
retcons that. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy this.
Yeah.
This interpretation of him. So yeah, we get to meet our Vulcan, not Vulcan bartender, who is now an Andorian but not Andorian wedding planner, Trelane.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Corby is Chapel's very uncomfortable best man for the ceremonies.
Best man who's trying to sabotage everything. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Spock, Trelane brings out some hors d'oeuvres for them to taste test, which at least initially Spock does not or appreciate at all. Apparently the cake had some heat to it.
It was spicy and briny is what he called it. But
yeah.
that prospectively was because of something that Corby did to it, I would guess.
Yeah. And then we get the famous Q step.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden the cake tastes delicious. Mm-hmm. And no one questions this at all.
Corby looks
so like that's the first
weird, very confused about it though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like the first hint to the audience that like, oh, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
They also bring out Chapel's mom's preserved wedding flowers.
Yeah.
They're in like this, I don't know, preservation capsule,
right.
like an urn. It looks very creepy. I don't know. I did not like it.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm assuming after some sabotaging from a very jealous Dr. Corby is just completely wilted, right? Like it's wilted. It's it's dead. It's dead, Jim.
Yeah, it's a bunch of dead flowers. Yeah.
Yeah. But Trelane again just Q snaps them back into bloom again. And no remarks from anybody. That's just how it is, and everyone is impressed.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Trelane's hair, fantastic. Like,
oh yeah,
it stood out to me. Like, oh man, he's got some very nice hair. Shit,
he does. It's very lush, very full,
layered, and
yeah. I'm very jealous. I wish my hair was that thick.
Right.
Yeah. Corby begins what is not the first time, or won't be the last time in this episode, of trying to speak to Chapel alone. Clearly working to try and shut down the whole wedding. But Trelane again steps in,
gives him the old stiff arm.
Yeah, gives him a light jabbing, and so he takes the loss, but instead goes to break into Spock's room
to do some other type of wedding sabotage. Yeah.
Spock catches him though. He's right behind him in the corridor. So, Corby's not really doing a good job looking around while he's hacking into this door security. So yeah, Spock catches him. Dr. Corby tries to explain himself, and that the timeline has been messed up, and that he's the only one who remembers what's actually happening here. Sorry, were you going to say something?
No. Yeah, I was just saying, yeah, he's kind of pleading his case, and then he gets to the point where he's talking about, he's like, I'm, the one who's supposed to be with Chapel, and because I did this, and then he starts talking about how they got romantically involved, and Spock just fucking decks him.
Yeah, right in the fucking face. Just punches him right in the face.
Yep.
Interestingly, though, after his little rage episode there, Spock also now remembers what's going on. A little too late for Dr. Corby's jaw, but
it's fine. He just takes a little nap.
Yeah.
Just a light concussion. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah. Corby wakes back up in Spock's bed and immediately leaps away from him, which, understandable. They go through all of the possible scientific explanations, of which apparently Corby has already looked into a few of them, but found no evidence for. And then from all of this, Spock surmises that there must be some sort of advanced species with reality warping abilities, which I didn't remember this the first time watching Strange New Worlds, but it is incredible how often somebody in this show is just immediately like, oh yeah, here's what's happening. Makes total sense.
I mean, we got to advance the plot somehow, I guess.
Yeah.
I also like the joke where it's like, where they're trying to figure out why Corby wasn't affected, which, by the way, never answered. He's like,
no, it's answered.
Was it?
It's love, Chris.
So I guess Chapel doesn't love him that much. so she wasn't affected.
I thought that was going to be a plot line, but it didn't turn into one.
I don't like, but like they didn't speak specifically about that though. Like,
no, they do. So Spock and Corby, it's when they're it's when they find porn stash later. They're assuming that like only extreme emotions, like Spock when he saw his rage, or like Corby was like so deeply in love with Chapel, right? That's the only thing that can snap people out of the effects. And I thought that was going to become a plot line where at the end Corby's going to realize like, oh, Chapel doesn't really love me, but that didn't happen at all. So I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. Like I thought they were just speaking in that scene about like Spock's waking up more so than his, because theoretically, like Corby wasn't awake, like was never under the spell or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe
sure.
I don't think they did a good job addressing that.
No, but like I think that was the explanation they were going with. But
sure, why not?
His extreme love for Nurse Chapel is what preserved his mental capacities.
Yeah, sure. No, not his towering intellect as Spock quickly disabuses of.
Corby postulated that he was spared the effects because of his superior intellect, and Spock assures him that if anybody would have been immune because of intellect, it would not have been him.
Yeah.
And then I like that they both like raise an eyebrow at each other with the Spock eyebrow raise. That was pretty great. That was a good scene.
And then then Trelane comes in with I don't know, tuxes or whatever.
Clothing racks. Yeah. He comes up to try to get them fitted for clothes, but the two excuse themselves and head to the science lab instead.
He also takes that opportunity to rip Corby as well.
Yeah. Again. Every time. It's so good.
I did enjoy the constant ragging on Corby. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very fun because like Trelane is clearly rooting for Spock in all of this.
And, at least rooting against Corby.
I guess so.
Right, because they brought that up later. He's like, because that's how he was aware of them, because they were digging up stuff on their own planet, and he just got annoyed by Corby.
Yeah,
just
because he was too handsome.
Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, they try being blunt with Pornstash Kirk, who's here to demo wine options because of course he is. To see if they can kind of like snap him back to reality. Doesn't seem to have any effect on him though.
Nope.
Then they try meeting with Pike, who's, surprise, surprise, hosting a bachelor party in his quarters for Spock at the captain's table. Every time they try to confront any of the members of the crew with the truth, though, like you can see the crew member just kind of like glaze over. And then when Spock and Corby start playing along with it, with the reality again, everything turns back to normal. Like the people just like shut down the moment they try to convince them that what they're saying isn't true.
Right. Yeah. Also, Scotty
was cool.
mentions that he's not much of a drinker here, but that was funny.
Yeah, that is funny. So yeah, this is where Spock and Corby begin to assume that only extreme emotions like love and rage can snap people out of the effects. They then ask the computer to check who on board isn't either on the wedding list or in the crew, because apparently the entire crew is invited. And it leads them back to Trelane. So they go visit him, tell him that he can't just keep doing what he wants with people's minds, to which he replies that yes, in fact he can, because he's a wedding planner and he doesn't like it when people ruin his plans.
Yes, he gets very threatening here.
He does. Yeah, he snaps his finger. We get some warning klaxons sounding across the ship, and the whole ship starts to rumble.
Right, but then we like cut to
we do,
which I thought was abruptly. Like weird. Yeah,
yeah.
Like they got that going, like something like he was actually going to do something, but then like nothing happens.
Yeah. Well, I think it was just a show of force, right?
I know, but I don't know. It just seemed like excessive.
Yeah.
Like for that.
Speaking of show of force, Spock's back in bed. Trelane taunts him awake, and Spock still insists he can't keep doing this. So with a snap, Trelane not only miniaturizes him to the size of about a hand, but also inside of the drinking glass on Spock's nightstand.
That was fun.
Sorry, what was that?
No, I was just saying that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. So yeah, he threatens him, says, "Do what I tell you to," and then returns Spock to full size Spock and kicks him out of his room. Next scene, Dr. Corby again being made the butt of every joke in this episode. He has now been made the maid of honor instead of the best man, and he's wearing like a very fun flower crown with his tuxedo for the ceremony
and a goofy ass bow tie.
Yeah,
by the way, I did have a trivia note here. Dr. Corby, when he's going through this conversation, he says that Trelane told him that if he doesn't play along, then they will all they'll wish us all into a cornfield. Which that phrase, "send people to the cornfield," apparently originates from the short story "It's a Good Life" by Jerome Bixby. In the story, a 3-year-old boy with near godlike powers can control others by wishing them to the cornfield if they think negatively about him. This is actually something Rod Serling took this short story and wrote an episode of Twilight Zone.
That's why it sounds so familiar.
Yes, yeah. It's a Good Life is the episode.
That's awesome. Oh, that's a fun reference.
Yep.
That's a fun fact, Chris. Thank you.
That was a deeper cut. Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that's really cool. So yeah, the ceremony begins with Trelane officiating, because I guess wedding planners officiate too.
Costume design in this scene, by the way, fantastic. Like all the different like wedding dresses and stuff, and like actually there was another like Scotty is wearing a tartan, which is the actual tartan of the Scott clan. Apparently,
that's awesome.
So he's actually Scottish too. So it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, the all of I think whoever's doing costume design did a good job of making these like formal attires, these dresses and stuff look futuristic, but without making them look goofy like a lot of times Star Trek does. Like they made them fashionable and interesting, but like still like futuristic looking enough and out there enough where it was like, oh yeah, I could totally see this makes sense for for Star Trek, but also they don't look stupid as hell. So
well, what's interesting is when I was researching The deep dive is going to be on the Q continuum, by the way. Like some of the members that we've met up till now. Up till now, meaning like in real time, not
right.
not Star Trek time here. But they were talking about how in TOS, and they replicated it here too, Trelane, very interested in like Victorian fashion, whereas the Q that we know as Q, very interested in Tudor fashion.
Interesting.
So like whenever we saw Q like pretending to be his human self, it was always in like Tudor fashion. So that was a fun little juxtaposition between the two characters here.
That is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Corby he's done with this shit, immediately objects to the wedding. So Trelane turns him into an English bulldog.
Which that's a reflective of something Q did to Dr. Crusher, because Q from TNG turns Dr. Crusher into a dog too.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny. So yeah, and just like every other situation that we've seen so far, the rest of the audience doesn't care.
Unfazed, yeah.
Yep.
Poor Stash is right next to him, but he's got his leash. He's just petting him. It's funny.
Yeah. Spock's oaths are very touching, but really he's just reciting what Corby, that poem that Corby had read back to her up on the mountaintop before giving her the very sentimental bracelet. So ultimately serving the purpose of snapping Chapel back to reality, right?
Yep.
So again, love wins, Chris. All you need is love.
All you need is
love. Once she comes to, Trelane just starts threatening to kill everyone.
Very descriptively.
Yeah. But he's interrupted when a nebulous Q floats in and starts berating Trelane for his behavior.
Right. They never named them as such, but yes, he's like an energy being, and it is voiced by John Delancey.
Yeah. It's very fun to me, like how much he loves the role of Q and how willing he is to keep coming back and playing him. Like, I feel like that speaks. I know Stanford hates him, but he is a fun character. I like Trickster Gods. He's the Star Trek Trickster God. I'm here for it.
Yep. Absolutely.
So yeah, we learned that Trelane is apparently a very young member of the Q continuum.
Specifically, like his son, like Q's son, like references him as his son. Although, so here's the thing:
he is not Q's son.
But he says in this scene that the energy being that comes in says that it's his son.
Does he?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
It does, yeah.
Right, editor Stanford, check that one out too.
But like, so the thing is, nothing ever explicitly states that these are Q entities, or that was, Q, who we know from, the TNG era of shows. However, it is the same actor voicing any of these omnipotent energy beings. So, connect the dots as you will.
Okie dokie, Stanford here. So yes, the entity voiced by John Delancey does say that Trelane is his son. Interestingly, this is one of the few episodes of this show that does not have a very detailed article on Memory Alpha, so I can only find so much. The general understanding, as far as I can tell, is that in canon, the idea is that Trelane is Q, and John Delancey is the Q that we know that comes to get him. Now, John Delancey's Q does have a son, because that is a thing that happens in Star Trek Voyager. This episode takes place in the timeline before Voyager. However, the Q can do whatever they want with time, so like, it could technically be the same character that showed up in Voyager, but, maybe not. That character famously was babysat by his Aunt Kathy, Catherine Janeway. So, that's what I've got. Good luck.
I have connected them. There's a very straight line. It leads straight back to Q. So, there. Yeah, we hear. I think he said he was very specifically 8,020 years old.
Something like that, yeah.
Which is very young for their species because
or Q.
They're immortal, you know.
Sure.
Yeah, apparently he found Corby while he was digging around on the old home world and was annoyed at how handsome he was. So he's just been following him around and waiting for an opportunity to ruin his life. So here we are. And then at John Delancey's disembodied voice's orders, he releases everyone from their stupor, and then Pike tries to redirect the broken up wedding ceremony into the celebration of a very awkward Federation Day gala. Before just giving up midway and announcing that the bar is open.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I know I pointed this out on a previous episode, but like this episode is also really bad about it, where they have like the climax of the episode, and then there's also they just tack on like 3 or 4 different scenes on the end.
Yeah.
So like there's like the one scene where like was it Scotty and Pike? I don't know. Scotty and somebody else are at the bar talking to that 3-armed alien, which by the way was another reference. Because this episode didn't have any reference. Right? It's like what's that? But what was I? Oh yeah, so like the 3-armed alien is apparently a Endosian, which only made an appearance in the animated series. But there was a character named RX, I don't know how to say it, but that was on the animated series. Maybe. But yeah, that one apparently has an arm.
Are they the ET looking dudes?
In the center of his chest. This one had an arm coming out their back, but
oh, I bet you that's who it is.
They were only ever in the animated series before, so
yeah. Oh, that's fun. Can I ask? Do you know who the actress was that was playing them?
No. Why do you think they were familiar?
Well, it sounded kind of like Tawny Newsome, but I wasn't sure if it was her. Like her accent didn't sound the same, but some of her delivery was. So I don't know. And yeah, it was Una and Pike sitting there at the bar, and much like they did to Ensign Gamble, they decide to offer the bartender a job at Enterprise as well, which she is very excited for. Uhura also offers to help Beto get into Starfleet for the purpose of annoying Erica. And then we have Lon very touchingly stop by Spock's table where he's sitting all alone to cheer him up a little bit and asks him to dance to some Jitterbug with her. I did like that. Like Lon's just being a good friend to Spock,
sure,
right?
Yeah.
Like that was nice. And then Pike spots a similarly lonely like Wallflower Ortegas just straight up leaving. She goes and hits up the gym and starts having flashbacks to the Gorn attack, which I'm assuming is going to lead to why we have a pilot Sulu in TOS instead of Eric Ortegas, but we'll get to that later.
Sure. Yeah, I don't see the alien bartender credited. It's not on IMDb.
Oh, that's too bad.
They did credit John Delancey as alien parent, though. So
alien parent. It's a Q.
It's a
Q. It's a Q. If it walks like a Q and it snaps its finger like a Q, it's a Q. Yeah. All right. So on a scale of 1 to 5, where 0 is threshold, what are you giving this week's episode?
I mean, it was fine. It was fun. There was good bits. There was bad bits. It's a 3. I don't irrationally hate Q like some people. So.
Stanford's ears have got to be burning right now.
Mm-hmm.
I gave this one a 4. I really like the fun episodes. Like I do. I
enjoyed it. Yeah. Like I enjoyed it quite a bit. Like it just, when I'm trying to rate critically, there was enough dumb stuff and dropped lines that I couldn't quite get to a 4.
I I really like the storytelling elements. I like that the writers finally trusted us for a couple of times.
Sure.
I like all of the jokes on Corby that Trelane gets to shoot his way.
Those were fun.
And I like the call out to, Trelane being a Q. I thought that was a fun little retcon. I appreciated that one.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Or for me. We're going to take a little break here, and we'll be back for this week's deep dive. Welcome back, everybody. For this week's deep dive, I wanted to, go back through all the many decades of Star Trek and take a look at some members of the Q Continuum that we've got to meet over the years. So I figured we'd start off with Q, the man, the myth, the legend. You know him. Stanford hates him.
Yeah.
He's the first character that was officially a Q, right? Because Trillian wasn't originally in TOS.
Right. Yeah, because Trillian basically had the same things going on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I am sure he heavily influenced who
Q.
would become Q in TNG.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's played, as we've mentioned, by John Delancey. He is a common antagonist, if not like the primary antagonist through all of TNG, starting from the very first episodes.
I don't know if primary is the right word, but definitely a big antagonist and certainly in a way that changes kind of how, yeah, just the little elf poking from the edges. Really, just poking things along.
Yeah. We do also get to see him in episodes of DS9, Voyager, Lower Decks, and Picard, of course.
Of course.
I really appreciate that Sisko's first call upon meeting him is to punch him right in the face. That is definitely the safe move to keep you out of any involvement with a Q.
Q shenanigans.
He sort of portrays himself as this like shepherd and teacher for humanity, but I guess more specifically Picard.
Right.
But really he's just kind of a dick.
Yeah.
We find out through Voyager that like the Q Continuum is stuck in this like stagnant ennui where like they've already been everywhere, they've already seen everything, and they've debated every topic possible, in their society. So they got bored. Mm-hmm. And Q decided to spice things up by torturing a particular Starfleet captain for his own entertainment.
Doing the mischief.
Next up, we meet Amanda Rogers, who is played by Olivia Diabo. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why isn't her name Q? Because all Qs are Q, right? Mm. Well, she was birthed by two Qs in human form, so she's just kind of stuck in human form for a while, I guess. She's raised as a human and wound up interning on Enterprise because of course she did. Mm-hmm. While there, she starts having things just like magically appear when she thinks about them, like puppies, which kind of sets off some alarm bells for Beverly Crusher and Jean-Luc. Mm-hmm. Once she finds out who she really was, she wanted to stay on Enterprise and kind of like also learn about the Q. So Picard and Crusher call their resident Q expert, Q, who offers to teach Amanda. She kind of struggles to not abuse the powers accidentally, like when she steals Riker off into like a romantic fantasy because the show was written in the 80s.
Sure.
She also decided that she wanted to stay aboard Enterprise ultimately and just never use her powers anymore. But found it impossible when she had the chance to rescue Riker from a reactor meltdown that the crew couldn't fix. Mm. So off she went with Q to join the Q Continuum instead. Speaking of the aforementioned stagnancy, the Q knows as the Q. There's too many Qs in this, Christopher. I can't keep up. The Q known as Quinn shows up in Voyager and pleads with Janeway for asylum so that he could escape his imprisonment by his fellow Q. to commit suicide because that's what he wants to do. This Q is played by Garrett Graham. Apparently, Quinn was like a very prominent philosopher in Q society and just got tired of existence, right? Because they've already done and seen everything. So what else is there? He also thinks that his suicide would result in the destruction of said stagnancy that the continuum finds itself in. So he really wants to like help the continuum find a way forward. Janeway agrees to his request. Quinn offs himself, and then the continuum plunges into a civil war so severe that the Q wind up like destroying stars and permanently damaging subspace, which is wild.
Yes, man. Come on.
So yeah, naturally, the only way to end a civil war is to introduce some morals into the Q continuum. The problem is when you've talked through every moral subject to the point that it means nothing to you, you have none. So our good buddy Q comes up with the brilliant idea of doing the deed with none other than Captain Catherine Janeway to have a half-human baby who would actually like care, I guess, is the plan.
Not well thought out, this plan.
No. It's totally brilliant. I don't know what the problem is. So yeah, too bad for him that Janeway wants literally nothing to do with him because she is a sane and rational person. So cue the introduction of female Q, played by Susie Plaxon. I've seen her referred to as both female Q and Miss Q.
Miss Q sounds both better and worse somehow than female Q.
Yeah, I'm just going to call her Q. So she's a Q that lost her powers because she left the continuum that finds Voyager and then asks to be taken back to the continuum to help with the Civil War, right? But because she's not like in the continuum anymore, she doesn't have any of her powers. But they do wind up, I haven't seen Voyager, but apparently they get some cool Q weapons as they go blasted in.
Yeah, it's been a while since I watched the episode, but like it's weird because as you stated, it's a civil war, but like the way that it's being pictured for like the episode is like the American Civil War. So there's just like there's just like dudes like in gray and blue and stuff, and like it was like you know old rifles and things. It's a very weird episode.
I like that this entire Q continuum has decided to base all of their fashion and culture off of like human culture. That's very weird.
Well, like I think part of it's like that's the way the writers better. That's how the human mind is able to perceive it. So like it's it's just so immense and expansive that like the human mind couldn't possibly visually view it. So it's kind of boiled down to this.
Yeah. Well, fortunately for her and the rest of the continuum, Q agrees with the plan. And says that her experience without Q powers makes her, again, care at all about non-immortal beings, and that qualifies her for Q's plan. So they have a kid, and, joke's on us. The Civil War does end because of this.
Because of the wee little baby.
Wee little baby. All right. So you just stopped a war by docking up your girlfriend, right? Your human friend, Captain Janeway, even agrees to be your kid's godmother. Perfect. Everything's looking great until your new Q baby, named Q Jr., turns out to be an asshole.
Yeah, he does.
So what's a Q to do?
Well, look.
That's right. Drop him off on Voyager so he's Janeway's problem now.
When the parents are assholes, the kid doesn't have much of a chance.
Uh-huh. So yeah, Q's hoping that Janeway's ideals would rub off on his kid. But instead, Q Jr. just starts throwing them into harm's way, like just chucks him in front of a bunch of Borg cubes. He seals Neelix's mouth shut and just like finger snaps away 7 of 9's clothes so he can ogle at her.
Sure.
90s, not much better than the 80s. So Q decides to take away his son's toys and seals him from using his powers. However, he continued to be a problem until Janeway threatened him to send him back home to his dad, because his dad is now threatening to turn him into an amoeba, which I guess is the ultimate punishment for a Q.
Sure. It's a bit abusive,
so
but all right.
Yeah. He does start to behave, even makes his first human friend. But his dad, Q, still wasn't happy. So Q Jr. lashes out, steals the Delta Flyer for a joyride, and winds up getting his buddy hurt. He then realized that he had to turn himself over to the enemies because Neelix couldn't figure out what actually hurt his human friend. So he has to go find the people who hurt him to learn how to heal him in a weird twist, sure. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when he tries to turn himself over, it's revealed that this was all just a character test put together by Daddy Q. Daddy Q is happy, but the Continuum still wasn't, and decides that they should still turn him into an amoeba. But Janeway spoke to his improvements of his character, and he's instead allowed to just remain with his dad as long as Daddy Q watches him for all of eternity. Speaking for being watched of all of eternity, there's Trelane. Turns out he was a Q all along. This week's episode does a light recon, sets him up as a Q based on his original appearance in TOS, where he also messes around with Kirk and the TOS Q. So here he is, another young Q, causing chaos wherever he goes, throwing temper tantrums and getting mad whenever his lessers do him wrong. So
there was also another Q I remember from one of the TNG episodes. It was the one where Q goes and gets exiled from the Q continuum and his powers are taken away, so he just hangs out on Enterprise.
Oh yeah, they give him a uniform and everything.
Uh-huh. And so there's one that shows up near the end of the episode when he's about to heroically sacrifice himself for the Enterprise. And it's I don't know if I think they just called him Q, but I remember because it's the same actor who played the dad in Psych.
Oh my god, is it really?
Yeah. I'm hey, it's that guy.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, I rewatched it a little bit ago, and I'm hey, I know that guy.
But oh, he's another good actor. I like him a lot.
I think he was in one scene, so I can imagine how he didn't make the list.
Yeah, I was going with the ones that played larger.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the Q Continuum.
Woo!
Lovable assholes, despite what Stanford says about them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're gonna. What's that?
No, just mischievous fellas.
Yep. We're gonna take another break here, and we will be back for this week's deep dive, or Potpourri.
That one.
Yeah, without Stanford. Welcome back, everybody. So while Stanford couldn't be here, he wrote us a very nice letter with some instructions for us to follow for this week's Potpourri. He did put together a fun game, so we're going to work through this now. He says, "I'm so sorry I won't be able to join you tonight, but I have sent along my excellent game. Please remember, I'm not there, so if this doesn't work out, it's y'all's fault. Thanks, Stanford."
Rude.
Despite all the aliens, today's episode included one of the most white people weddings we've ever seen on screen. And that got me thinking. White people parties are definitely an experience. And you know what white people love doing at parties? Party games. So tonight, we're going to play Pictionary. Of course, that's impossible over an audio medium, so I've made it a bit more interesting. You are going to have a picture, and your job is to describe the object in that picture using only physical descriptions, as if you had never seen it before or have any knowledge of its function. The other player has to guess the object. Obviously, they will be Star Trek-related objects. Make sense? I hope so, because I'm not there to clear it up. Chris, we'll start with your object first. And
so you sent
I
us
believe he
5 pictures, so I guess we'll go back and forth on this.
Yes. Yes.
So
let's see here.
I guess we're probably supposed to be a little bit more vague about this.
Yeah. I sure. Yeah, you're supposed to explain it as if you had never seen it before.
Okay. All right.
And I'm gonna fire up a timer because I'm assuming like how long do they give you in Pictionary? Is it like 30 seconds?
Sure. Why not?
All right. I'm gonna get a timer ready. And I think you get the point if the other person correctly guesses it, right? That's how Pictionary works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Let me know you're ready, and I'll kick off the timer.
I guess I'm ready.
Go.
All right. So my first item is it's gray and black. It's kind of in a T shape, and it's got a bunch of buttons. Well, some buttons on it. Yeah. What in the near the junction of the two kind of pieces? There's another little piece sticking out. Looks like you might be able to pull it. It's pointed at one end of the T. I don't know how specific I can be on this.
It's pointed at one
end of the T. It's got a barrel kind of at the end of one end. It just take some guesses.
A barrel at one end and a Star Trek pickaxe? Like,
think about things that are actually in Star Trek.
A phaser?
Yes, it is a phaser.
Hell yeah.
So, like, I could have said, like, it looks like a gun, but that would have been any fun. So I figured that was not what he was going for there. So, yeah.
Sure. Okay. I bumped it up to a minute because I realized that, like, 30 seconds is not enough time to get through describing an object you have never seen before.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm going to do the same for me here. All right. Ready?
Yep.
Okay, so this thing looks like a flip phone from the 90s. The bottom half is a little smaller than the top, but kind of like folds into it.
Tricorder.
It's also got like a little cylinder thing that I guess goes with it.
Medical tricorder?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. All right.
Oh, the doctor would be very proud of that one. Good job, Chris. Medical tricorder.
Nice. All right. All right. You ready for the next one?
Yep. Go.
All right. So it is in the wall. It has kind of a screen with lots of different buttons on it, and things magically appear once you press some buttons.
A computer?
Nope. Physical objects kind of appear as if from nowhere. Yes, it's a replicator.
Replicator. Oh, that's funny. I feel like that might have been a little bit cheating, and I'm sure Stanford's going to call you out for it, but I don't care. Like, I don't know how you're supposed to, because you're only supposed to describe the physical details of the object.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck that guy.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm giving you the point anyway. I don't know how you're supposed to do that one. That would be wild.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Okay. So this one is a little circle with like a triangle on top of it that's like swooped on the bottom. Like the bottom part of the triangle is pushed up into it.
Nope.
It looks like it might also be pinned onto something.
Oh, it's a comm badge. It's the badge. Yeah.
Yep,
okay.
Comm badge.
All right. Good. Okay. Oof. This next one.
All right.
Okay.
Go.
It is large and green, It's kind of hollow. It's kind of almost like a frame because like the middle's kind of empty.
Oh, is it the Derek's whatever?
It is, yeah. Uh-huh.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, got that faster than I thought you would. The Deradex, the one with too many D's.
Yeah. Too many D's.
Too many D's all the day.
So 3 points for you. Good job, Christopher.
Thanks.
All right. Mine is tall and cylindrical, kind of wider at the base. It's got like a cylinder of light that appears to be going up and down it. There's some railings around the outside of it.
Oh, it's a warp core.
Yep. Good job, man. I'm just realizing, like, I know we talk about this a lot, but in Star Wars, there's always railings missing that should be there.
Yeah, that's 100% accurate. Yeah.
I really appreciate that, like, a lot of the set design in Star Trek is very purposeful and, you know, at least mostly safe, except for that goddamn elevator in the NX-01 in engineering. That thing was going to kill somebody.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, you ready for yours?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, go.
Oh wait, it's my turn again.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, it's my turn.
Oh, hang on.
All right. So
go.
it's a big gray ring with kind of 6 spokes going kind of
Deep Space Nine.
It is Deep Space Nine. Yeah. You got it.
That's amazing. All right, my turn.
Yep.
All right, so this is a green object. It has 2 wings kind of protruding off either side and angled slightly down.
With it's a bird of prey.
Yeah, yes, sure is.
The Klingon bird of prey.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, I got my last one.
All right, go.
All right, it is a big black rube with lots of yellow squares on it. Also a door into and out of it.
A holodeck?
It's a holodeck, yep.
Nice.
That one was easy.
Yeah. All right. My last one is like, it's like a white box with the forward kind of like protrudes a little bit out with some like blue glass on the front. And then
shuttle?
It sure is.
Oh man.
Nailed it.
That was fun.
Yeah, I like this one. This is a good idea, Stanford. Shame you couldn't have been here for it. You'd be so proud of us.
All right.
All right. Well, you wanna take us out here, Stan?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I can.
Chris?
Yeah. As Rob mentioned at the top of the podcast, please rate, review, subscribe, tell all your friends, classmates, coworkers, all those things. It helps spread the word of the podcast. It does mean a lot and helps us out quite a bit. And we will catch you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to Captain's Log Supplemental. You can follow us on Twitter at PodCLS or send us hate mail at podcls3@gmail.com.